And we're back with another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour. That's right. It is me, the Cyber Warrior. This is CyberWarriorStudios, and we got an amazing show planned for you today. Because not only do we have an amazing guest, and we're going to talk about some very important topics, but we got a huge giveaway today. But here's the kicker: for the giveaway, people have to be watching live. It's the only way to win because there are going to be ways and tricks to it. Saying that, guess what? Oh, we got 10 Try Hack Me vouchers to give away. So it's going to be amazing, but you got to be here. So share the stream, like and comment, all that other fun jazz if you're watching this after, but share this right now for everybody watching. Let's get more people in here so that when we get it off and running, that giveaways are coming. So hang with me and I'll be right back. And we're back, and that's right. Hold on. Shh. There it is. The official sound of Security Happy Hour kicking off, and we are in it to win it. And with me, I have my amazing guest this evening, Jason Rojas. Jason, how you doing this evening, brother?
I'm doing great, my man. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You know what? This whole family, the Warrior family that we have established, from Andrea to Adrienne to Misha to Javier, James, Carrie, is that a wife or in the chat today? I got a Sarah Rojas that's there.
Oh yeah, that's the old lady.
Aha!
Gotta give her a shout out.
Nice. We got Natalie in the house. So all the Warriors are showing up. Let's keep sharing. Let's get more people in here because in order to win, you got to be here. You got to be in chat. It's the way the party rolls this evening. I was saying that, Jason, before we get started and we talk about the topic at hand, because we all know forced transitions can be difficult, give us a little rundown, a little backstory on how you got into IT and cybersecurity.
How I got into it. Well, let's see. The pandemic was a wonderful thing to force me into. I was actually, my backstory is I was actually a massage therapist for 20 years. So I was doing that. I was working at a place called Stretch Lab, and I told my wife, I'm thinking of a change, body's kind of breaking, not necessarily breaking down, but it's like, I can only do this for so long, right? I'm mid 40s. It's like, okay, do I really want to keep doing massage? And then the pandemic happened, everything shut down. I was working at a place for 3 weeks, literally 3 weeks, doing massage. And they said, nope, the world lost its mind. So I decided, okay, what's stable out there? And I had not listened to the best piece of advice, the sage wisdom of the old man. My dad told me for years, get into IT, get into computers, So I did. I finally listened. I did my computer career, and I got some great information. I learned a lot. And it's honestly been the best transition. It's taken a little bit, but you definitely learn a lot about yourself as you're going along the way.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And that's a big kicker. Anybody that's transitioning later in their career is always going to have some roadblocks and some stumbling blocks and things like that they're going to have to overcome. So being able to accomplish that and get to where you're at today, and I know you've still got some growing to do. I know you're still trying to make your way. And I'm sure you were really successful as a massage therapist, but now kind of transitioning, you're kind of, at one of those points, and that's where your support system comes in, like your wife and things like that. That's like, all right, we're going to have to take a hit, or I might have to go to work, or I might have to do something, but we'll make it work until absolutely. We can get to where we want to be.
No, absolutely. It definitely is a humbling experience. Like you said, I was at a point in my career, like you said, I was definitely doing good things. I was working, and I loved what I do. It was easy. It was fun. I definitely have helped a lot of people. Like, you touch people's lives in real ways, and you're like, I never imagined that, right? Doing just physical touch and being there for somebody, even just listening. And just the humbling aspect of changing. And now, okay, I'm not at the top where I used to be. And I don't like that aspect of not necessarily knowing everything and being good instantly, right? It definitely makes you take a step back and take stock and be like, okay, just take your time. Let's work through it. Keep plugging away.
Yeah, definitely. So before we dig it any further, we need to come up with a hashtag this evening for us to do this giveaway, because here's how it runs. Y'all put the hashtag in the chat, in the live chat, hence the reason you got to be here. It goes into my system. And then at the intervals, I will select random names. We'll put them on the screen and we will select people. So, Jason, give us a hashtag to put into the chat this evening to use for this giveaway.
Let's see what we got.
What are you thinking?
I put it I put it in the chat.
You put it in the private chat? All right. Hashtag next generation. All right. Hashtag next generation, people. So I will put that up on the screen. You will then put this into the chat, and this is how you get entered into a chance to win Try Hack Me vouchers. So let's do this. Enter. And there it is. Hashtag next generation. Throw that into the chat. Hold on, timeout. Let me put it here. That way they actually know. Next generation. Helps if I start doing that. Start collecting comments. We got 4 entries so far. So we do have 10 to give away. Make sure that you just bring more people in. Let's get this drawing up. And I'll let it run for a little while, probably about a half hour or so. And then we'll do the drawing. Now, saying that, whole topic of this conversation is transitions, and forced transitions at that, because we know there are times in our lives where certain things force us to have to reevaluate what we are doing. You have your own situation. So between the pandemic and everything else going on, you had the advantage of your dad,
right?
Where he kind of told you, we might want to do this. You might want to get in IT is the next big thing. But it was still a forced transition. You still had to find something new to do. Right. How was it dealing with that? Dealing with the situation of the shutdown for the pandemic, and now I got to find a way to work and bring in money, and I don't know shit about, IT at this point in time, except for what you had learned on your own probably previously, fixing computers or doing whatever you did. So how was that transition, and how did you kind of, work your way through it?
I honestly didn't know very much to begin with. I mean, I knew enough from video games. I knew enough from, messing around with America Online and computers then, right? But I didn't really know like all the transition stuff and all the networking and the UDP and the TCP and the ports and all this other shit, right? It was like that was like almost information overload. And a couple, some of the days it was like, wow, I don't think I can do this. I can't study anymore. I can't look at another computer screen, trying to learn another 100 different acronyms that mean 3 different things for 3 different acronyms. So it just was, just one of those things where you had to say, you know what, I got to throw myself into it. I can't just not do it, and like you said, I mean, I couldn't go back to certain things. Like definitely didn't want to go back to massage because there was so many stipulations and so many regulations now because of COVID that you have to go through that just didn't make it safe for the client, let alone you. Like I was trying to go work for a place, and my wife, Sarah, she's even a massage therapist. We went to go interview for this place, and they were going to have us clean with this stuff that was so caustic, D, that you couldn't leave it on the paint long enough for it to like do anything because it would peel the paint. But yet you want me to clean with this on the table, the face cradle, and all this other shit, and then layer upon layer, and eventually, the client suffocates because they can't breathe.
Right.
So, it just made more sense to come to a new area that was going to be way more secure, way more stable, and have way more longevity down the road. I mean, I could keep doing this for another 30 years.
Right.
So it just, it was one of those come to terms with the end of a career, and, this is the next chapter.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things, right? I've got a friend right now in chat. Me and her have been talking offline, trying to do a lot of different things. And I look at the pandemic the same way I do look at like injuries, right? I'm broken. Now, I'm lucky enough that I can kind of handle the pain, and, don't get me wrong, beer helps when I'm doing this show.
Hey.
But I'm broken. I can't do manual labor. Like I couldn't go be in construction or anything like that. And I've got a friend that used to do blue collar work that is now like, I need something because she's broken. And so you have to look at these forced transitions. Like, how do I make a career out of something when I'm so used to doing something else. When this is something that I've loved doing, now I've got to find something new that interests me and things of that nature. But you said it right in the beginning. In IT and in cybersecurity, especially when you're learning these foundations, the acronyms, and let's be honest, IT and cyber comes from military. They're the ones that have like developed everything. So acronyms are huge in our industry. And so even me coming from the military struggled with some of the acronyms. I got people throwing shit out there that I'm just like, homie, what are you saying? Like, I don't know that one. Can you please explain? And I've been in this field, 15 plus years, 20 years. So it's one of those things that you look at, and it's one of those you have to come to terms with, okay, I can't do what I used to do. And it sucks. I really wish I could, but we got to close that chapter of our life. We have to close that chapter and move on to the next. So what's this next one going to be? And when you look at that next chapter, you can choose to embrace it, or you can let it beat you down. And as we embrace these things, I'm not going to say, and I got another friend here right now who said he couldn't do digital forensics as a job. He does it for fun as a hobby, and he loves it. As a job, I think I'd hate it. You ain't wrong, man. There's some people like that, Chris. So I look at it as you have to be able to just understand that it's going to be you have to love what you do. It's going to be a new chapter, but you have to love what you do. And so for my friends and those that are in, the pagan community and the pagan project that I've been dealing with recently, I've talked a lot about it, just coming together as a community. That is what we're trying to do there, and what I've been doing with CyberWarriorStudios for so long. And guess what? I'm going to help you find a way. Now, if you don't enjoy it, I'm not going to tell you to stick around. I'm going to help you learn it. I'm going to do the best I can to help you get through it. But if at the end of the day, you realize, you know what, this just isn't for me, then that's cool, because you're going to hate your life if you do something that you don't want to do. Like, if you're working a job and you hate it, you're going to be miserable. And I never want that for people.
Well, you don't want to live with that resentment of, did I make the right choice? Am I doing this just for the money, right? I've actually gotten caught in that trap where I was working with the company I am now, and I jumped ship to go to another place just for the money, just because it was going to help the family out. You don't want to look back and say, wow, I did that for the wrong reason, or I'm not in this because, I know it's going to be good for me. Like you said, the forced transition or whatever it is, you can't do what you used to do. I could have gone back into the restaurant business, gone in the kitchen, slaved away for 6-8 hours in the kitchen, done a bunch of stuff, or waited tables, but that takes away from the family. That's not as consistent.
Right.
There's a part of the evolution and the adaptation of growth and the experience that comes with, being at my point in life. You got to say, okay, what's really going to benefit me in the long run? What's going to help my family? What's going to be a good example for the kids? And, how can I be of benefit to the community? I tell you, man, when I found you, and that, I think it was like the first couple of weeks, you actually asked me to be on the show. And I'll be honest, I was like, I don't know. What's this man want me to come on the show for? I don't know, dick.
What am I going to talk about?
What the fuck am I going to say? But now, after watching you and seeing, how you carry yourself and everybody that's in your world, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I didn't jump out and say, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing. It makes a huge difference when you have people saying, come on, come with me. Yeah, you're old and you're learning, but come with me.
Dude, I helped my dad pass his CEH at 50 some years old. Like, I was in the Army, and he was like, hey, I need to do something new. I'm going to go through college, and let's go to this, certification program together. And all right, cool, let's go. And I helped him to get through that. Age means nothing. No. Race, gender, sex, whatever you want to put on it means absolutely nothing. To me, there is a reason I refer to everybody as warriors. And it's because, guess what? To be in this industry and just to survive in this world, you have to fight every single day. But you got to love what you do. Because the moment you don't love what you do, not only are you beating yourself down because, I got to get up and go to work in the morning, then you're taking that stress, that anxiety, all that home with you. And now at home, especially for yourself, Jason, myself, I got a wife and 5 kids, and everybody else in chat, whether you're alone or got kids or got a spouse or whatever the case may be, you're taking that home with you. So that stress and that anxiety is weighing on you even more. We have enough issues with depression and anxiety and mental health right now, especially in our industry with burnout. You don't need to hate your job too, because it
No,
just adds on top of everything else. And
absolutely.
so that's why these forced transitions, you have to really enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. I hate documentation. Anyone want to do that for me? I don't, because I hate documentation too, Griffin. But I'm sure there's someone out there that loves it. I believe I've had them on the show. So
I mean, I don't mind documentation. You know, I like writing a story. I like being thorough. If being in this industry, being like working at the data center, I like being the remote hands because I'm actually racking and stacking. I'm doing things. I like the OCD part of like putting a server in and cabling and making sure it's all looking nice, because you know how it is when you're in the data center. Whoever the stooge was before you, all of a sudden you got noodles and can we burn this thing down? Can we start over, please?
did you see Kev Tech's post? I think it was like today or yesterday. Oh, I
No.
don't know if he put it on LinkedIn. So it was definitely on Twitter. I don't know if it was on LinkedIn. It's that old school one where you have the data center and it's just all these yellow cables that are just like, it literally just looks like a wall of yellow.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at it going,
No.
and the whole joke was, hey, we're going to go tell Joe he's going to go and have to fix this cable. And you're looking at it and it's like, I told Kev, I was like, yo, dude, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to come back out and be like, I couldn't find it. Sorry.
Couldn't find that damn
and I'm
thing.
going to go home.
That or there's going to be a accidental structure fire.
Right? I might just take something and throw something metal in like a socket or something real quick. Just let it all go on fire. It'll be all right. But yes, it's crazy. So, for you and in your situation, I think you kind of got lucky, right? Because your dad had already pushed you and kind of said IT was the thing. So for those that during the pandemic or because they're broken, that are looking and transitioning, how can they go about finding their way? How can they go about really figuring out A, whether or not this is for them, and and B, how to even get to that point?
That's a great question. Honestly, if I were to tell, like, say, for example, I don't know, my son, and I have a son who's 20. If he were to say, Dad, what am I going to do? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Well, what are you going to do? Get on YouTube, get on LinkedIn, start watching some videos, start checking out some people, see what they do. Like, Network Chuck is a funny motherfucker, and he is nothing but entertainment, but he's got a wealth of information. He can give you, a direction. Well, watching you, I mean, you could definitely give somebody, that inspiration, that motivation, and be like, okay, what do you want to do? I would say, just find your interest. If it's IT, if it's, being a gardener, being the best landscaper, or, whatever, selling solar panels, find what it is you want to do. If it's in this industry, find that niche, because I tell my other son, he's like, well, Dad, you're in IT. What do you want me to do? Well, IT is this huge umbrella. And you got all these little fingers dangling down like lights, like, those icicle Christmas lights. Okay, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. You can find your way. You just got to, find that little nugget and that little crumb that says, okay, I like that. Let's go down that rabbit hole and see what comes up.
Yeah.
So, you just got to find what speaks to you,
So let me ask you a question. Do you have either diagnosed or undiagnosed ADHD or OCD or anything like that?
I can't confirm or deny your allegation, sir.
I only ask because I swear I do. I swear I have undiagnosed ADHD, especially when it comes to learning, like from a book.
Right.
And I've discussed this on previous episodes because I have an entire bookshelf, 2 bookshelves actually. Actually, it's filled with 1, 2, 3. So technically 3 shelves are full of computer books. And this is how it ends up. I start reading, squirrel, find another book.
Right.
Start reading, squirrel, find another book. I have yet to make it through an entire book, with the exception of Linux Basics for Hackers. And the only reason I made it through that book was because I did a video series on it and had to finish it. Right. That's the only reason why.
I'm good about finishing books. I have more of the obsessive compulsive. Okay, it's got to be exact. No, I can't. No.
Perfectionist type. Yep.
Oh my God. If something's out of place, like the wife, she'll tell you, yeah, no, he has ADHD, but at the same time, my OCD is like
There we
way
go.
up
He
there.
is very OCD.
Yeah. See? There she is doing that bus. I love you, babe.
So what I need to do is I just need to have you over to my house. You can come walk into my basement
Oh,
and
dog,
you'll be all right.
I'll clean your
You'll just
house.
clean it all. You'll
I will
go
clean your
ham.
house. Don't
It'll
get me
be
wrong.
okay.
If it wasn't for this, I would have gone into house cleaning. People would be like paying me buckets of money. I love cleaning. My mother instilled it in me. Like she would have us cleaning on the hands and knees with scrub brush, what 409 spray and
Toothbrush and the grout and
yeah,
everything else.
yeah, all
Yep.
military, whatever, right? You got to get the job done.
but it is, and so that's why I look at things, and so we've got my friend diagnosed ADHD, visual, hands-on, conversion learner. Hey, me too. I'm very visual and hands-on. That's how I learn. Also have a pile of partially read books, and that's the thing, right? Learning on my own by books, I can't do it.
Right.
Put me in a classroom, give me hands-on, give me something I can touch and feel and learn and grow all day. But if you sit here and tell me, oh, you got to watch this online, this video online, or you got to read this book or this, that, third, I'm going to look at it and go, so what's going on Twitter today? Oh,
right.
You know what? Let me scroll through TikTok. Oh, let me go look up something different. Like, I can't. My brain just checks out.
No, I mean, in that aspect, yeah, like I definitely need hands-on. Like I got a small little lab on the laptop right now. I'm trying to get some money together to build a rig so I can have a little like actual home lab and stuff and get some stuff together so I can actually start putting together my own little rack and stuff. But, you know, like you said, I mean, you got to have that hands-on. You can't just be read, watch, and no do, you know. It goes hand in hand. You got to be able to put into practice the theory.
Yeah. And we got my friend Chris. My OCD is so bad. My money used to be facing the right way and in order from 1 to 100. Funny enough, mine was the same way. For years, I learned how to do my money. And then the way you folded money, if you didn't put it in a wallet, you would fold it with the ones out. Because then if somebody went to take or if you went to go pull out your money, it just looked like you had ones.
Right.
And so you could pull out whatever. But yes, 1 all the way up to 100. Stack neatly, all the faces facing the exact same way, and it's face forward. Like I was so bad with that.
100%.
And actually, my OCD would kick in with my Blu-rays, DVDs, and my games. They all had to be title, and it couldn't be mixed. I couldn't do DVD, Blu-ray, game. No. DVDs, then Blu-rays, then games, or games came first. But either way, it was basically by age of what had come out. So if I DVDs had been out for a while, but if I had another game that was like, or if I had a console that came out before DVDs, that console was before those DVDs, like in my mind. And so when I had kids, oh my God. So my oldest, not too bad, really didn't mess with my stuff. But as I had more, I'd come home and my wife would be sitting there as my kids just, I'm going, babe. She goes, oh, it's fine. They're just, no, babe, you don't understand what this does to me. Like, because you're going to sit there and you're just going to put them all back up there.
Right.
And I'm going to look at it and I'm going to lose my shit because they're not, I can't find anything. I don't know. No. So I'm going to have to go through and reorganize the entire thing. So that is my OCD, is like when it comes to my stuff, especially like anything I got to take care of, games, computers, books that are mine, there's an order. There's a reason, there's a purpose. Everything has a place.
Absolutely.
Don't get me started on my desk. My desk is organized chaos. But my things that are on a shelf, there's a reason for everything.
Absolutely. No, and I got one better for you. The closet is arranged by color. Like my closet is arranged by color. It goes white, yellow, blue, red, or no, white, yellow, orange, red, blue, gray, black, and then pants.
So initially mine was, I think my wife actually set it up that way for me. But then I'm lazy and I'm impatient and I hate putting clothes away. I absolutely despise it. So like my wife, I love my wife to death. She will sit there and do all the laundry, but she ain't going to put your shit away. You're a grown ass man. Put your clothes away. I bet I will. I grab all the hangers, push everything to the side, throw it up there, walk out. Because I never have to look at it again until I need to go in there the next morning and find a new shirt. And I'm just like, yep, this one will work. All right, cool. Like, so for me, like I think about it, and when I'm actually looking for things, yes, it frustrates me that I did not redo it all. Because like, hey, let's say I'm looking for this hoodie or the t-shirt that I'm wearing or another t-shirt that I have, and I know what I want to wear that day and I can't find it. Oh, cool. So frustrating because I know I did it to myself.
Right.
It's one of those things where you're like, I know I did this to myself. I'd love to yell at somebody. I might as well just go look in the mirror.
Right. That's the fun part. You look around, who did this? Oh, wait, that was me.
Yeah. Right. My bad.
My bad. It's my fault.
So, yeah. It's great. That's why I asked though, because it is. I think it's part of this community. I do. I think part of the cybersecurity community. I would venture a guess, and this is just a random ass number I'm just throwing out there, but I would venture a guess 80-some% of our community has some form of autism, ADHD, OCD, or something. They are on some type of mental spectrum somewhere because we're all fucked up in the head. Every single one of us in some way, shape, or form is fucked up in the head.
Absolutely. But that's what makes us perfect.
Exactly.
Is our imperfections. We're perfectly imperfect.
Precisely. And you know what? We're the best damn people for the job.
Hell yes. Hell yes. I may be scatterbrained, but you know what? When I get focused, look out.
Oh, that's the biggest thing. Man, my wife used to hate it. Because I'd go there. I was going for my my CPT, certified pen tester by IACRB.
Right.
And they did kind of like what do you call it? Kind of like your OSCP, only there wasn't a ton of machines. You had a month, and it was, hey, here's 2 boxes, find all the vulnerabilities, break in, get root, get system on both, and write a report. And you had 30 days to do it.
Wow.
All right, bet. Every day. From the time the kids went to bed until I got way too tired to think, I was in front of that damn computer. And actually, you're lucky if I waited till the kids went to bed. There were nights I'd literally come home from work and sit at the computer, like, I'll figure this shit out.
Right.
I know this is what I need to use. Fucking work. Fucking work. And my wife's like, what is going on? I'm like, this is supposed to work. I know this is what I need to do, and it's not working.
Right. Get away from me, woman.
Right. she's like, babe, you might want to no, I'm gonna figure this out.
I'm not going to bed yet, Mom. I mean, babe. I'm not tired.
Leave me alone. So yeah. Put it in a beer can, so I think it's alcohol, please. Just put it in. Give me the juice. I don't need any more alcohol. Just put a juice box in a beer can. I'll be okay. My mind won't register.
I'm telling you, man. Some days, you know, like you said, you want to just figure it out. You want to get it. You want to get into it so badly that sometimes it's better just to walk away. You know.
Yeah, and I've talked to people about that. You got to walk away. You have to.
Absolutely.
In all your education, everything you've done.
Yep.
How many times has beating your head against the keyboard actually worked?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It honestly
what has worked for you?
Taking a break, going and doing something else, clearing your mind. Like for me, when I can, I go play basketball. We got a school just down the road. I'll go shoot free throws for an hour by myself. Yeah. You know, you just got to go, or, you know, go fuck off, play video games, go whatever you do, you know, go walk the dogs, go play house with the wife, whatever, right? Just take your mind off of it.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes, you know, it's like a bad analogy. Turner and Hooch, when the girl he's dating says, you know, sometimes you just got to walk away from it and bam, it'll hit you. They're in the kitchen. He's like, oh my God, bam. It never happened to me before. It just hits like lightning. He runs out the house. It's like, okay, you know, once you just relax and let go.
The worst part about it is, for me, is my brain kicks into overdrive at night. Meaning, I'll go to lay down in bed, and this is why I have other things that I'm working on, but I'll go to lay down in bed, and then all of a sudden my brain goes, you thought you were going to sleep, huh? No. That problem you've been having all day,
right?
I just figured it out for you.
Right.
Do I get out of bed? Do I write it down? Do I go to the computer and actually do it? And I sit there and
Yeah.
it just goes. And I'm like, I really need to just, but I don't want to get out of bed because I'm comfortable. What the hell?
See, and I'm the opposite. I'll be when I get to that point, it's like, okay, I'm good. If I'm in it and I stay up, I'll be up till, like, I'm sure like you, 2, 3 in the morning, and then finally be like, okay,
Sometimes 6 in the morning and you're like, shit, the sun's coming up.
right now I got to go back to work. Now I don't get to get away from this. I got to keep going.
Wife's been yelling at you all night, babe. Just get. It's like playing Call of Duty.
5 more minutes, Mom. Level. I mean, babe.
give me 5 minutes. One more level. I promise. Let me get one more level. It'll be okay. No.
45 minutes later. Are you coming back to bed? Nope. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Cyber Dancer Danny in the house. Hey, Cyber Dancer.
What up?
If you want to win 1 month, try hack me. Hashtag next generation in the chat for all those that have joined later. And as much as, that whole win to give away again, it is what it is. If that's what you want to do, it's what you want to do. But hey, hashtag next generation, throw it at it in chat, and we'll get you a chance to win 1 month to try hack me. I'd love to see Chris doing, I know who Christopher Jackson is, so I'd love to see him go back at try hack me, because good dude, good people. Otherwise though, man, for those that are transitioning's hard.
It is.
How did you face it how did you mentally get through that whole transition of like, I've got to close this chapter? Like, I have no other options. This chapter has to close and I have to start a new one.
Honestly, I was ready for it. Like, I was looking for a reason. Like, I told my wife when I was still at this place, Stretch Lab, I've been hearing the commercials for my computer career a couple times. It's always one of those things. It comes on, and you're like, okay, yeah, but you're still in what you're doing. You're like, okay, I'm not ready for that yet. And then when I was over at Lifetime doing the massage, and everything stopped, it's like, okay, this is it. This is my now. This is it. So when it came time to it, I was like, okay, well, we're going 100. It's not just, we'll wait it out, whatever. It's time to get to the next phase. And I was honestly ready for it. Like, my wife, she tells me all the time, I mourn your career more than you do, because I would give her massages every so often, and I was just ready. So it wasn't really like a big, oh my God, I'm not going to be this anymore. I'm still that. You're always going to be whatever it was you were before. You're just now moving into the next stage.
Right.
You can't take it as such a big loss of, oh, my identity's tied up in this. I mean,
I love that you said that, and the way you phrased that. I'm gonna let you finish. Not to cut you off, I'm gonna let you finish, but I love the way you said that about your identity, because me and Andrea had a conversation, not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, Tuesday before, and released on Wednesday, about identity.
Yeah.
So I love how you stated that.
Yeah, I mean, it is who you were. It is who you are. It still is who you are. I'm always going to be a massage therapist. I'm always going to be, the guy that fixed problems. And they tell you in massage all the time, you can't necessarily fix somebody. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can only, get muscle to do so much. Well, I've fixed a few people in my time to where they actually come back to me and say, I couldn't do this, or I can now get back to normal life. Like, I had a client in Colorado. She was hit by a drunk driver on her bicycle on a Saturday morning. Had to have fusions to a bunch of vertebrae.
Mm.
She had to wear like a full corset back brace. She'd come to see me. I mean, I couldn't do anything on her for like the first month and a half. And by the time she was healed, she had gotten up off the table. I would work on her as like a pregnant woman, side lying, pillows, all that stuff, because she couldn't lay face down. The last time I saw her at that Lifetime, she got up, she said she was going to the bathroom. If anybody's been to a Lifetime, they're huge. You got to walk down the hallway in front of, by all these membership people, go down to the restrooms and locker rooms. She didn't notice she didn't have her back brace on until she was on her way back.
Damn. She
gets back to me. She's like, oh my God, I don't have my back brace. Oh my God, are you okay? She's like, yeah, no, I feel great. But that's part of the identity. That's part of who I am. And that's what I can bring as far as the experience, my identity. I can bring in that toolbox of what do I look for? What am I asking questions about? Because that's the biggest thing in IT and even cyber is you got to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
A
And
guy,
Amanda
a
says it
guy
here. I was a
well,
sports rehab massage therapist years ago. I stand by. We fix people. You don't fix
absolutely,
problems. You fix people, because
absolutely,
people are who are coming to you. You're not. You can't look at people as a resource, an identity, a number, or whatever. They're people. They're human
absolutely,
beings,
absolutely,
and they're coming to you for a reason.
absolutely. No, 100. It's just like, when you're doing help desk, like Kev, that man, I mean, he puts it, I mean, he is the epitome of customer service. He's the
Oh yeah.
epitome of caring about what you do when that person on the other line.
Yep.
You gotta bring that, and it just shows those who are going to be successful and those who are going to have that longevity. Like I said, you gotta bring that curiosity and that skill set and those soft skills.
And I think that's huge, right? Those soft skills, especially in IT and cybersecurity, are utterly they're an utter necessity. They really are, and I think that can take you a lot further than any technical education will, because you figure once you get to a certain point, your technical aptitude doesn't necessarily matter. You have to know the
Right.
lingo. You need to know how to converse and know what you're talking about, but actually being able to do, not necessarily. You just have to know how to like comprehend
Mm-hmm.
and find the people that can do.
Right.
So those soft skills should be growing in your repertoire. And I look at it this way: unless you want to stay technical your entire career, the way your skill set should work out is as your soft skills increase, your tech skills decrease. Because by the time you get to that point in your career where you no longer can do hands-on technical, you're in management, you're in director level and things like that. So the technical aspect you're no longer doing anyways. Like, let's be
Right.
honest, you're no longer
Right.
doing it. So I look at this, and we've got a question here from Misha, so we're definitely going to bring that up. I look at it this way: is we have a situation where so many people are transitioning into our career field. I think a lot of them, most of them, are by choice. The pandemic has caused a lot by force. How many that were forced to transition do you think truly want to be in this field?
I'd
And I'm
like
going
to
to say give a percentage or an average because we don't know numbers. I'm just
Right.
saying.
I mean, I'd like to say that everybody that's coming into this field because they had to, isn't it because they want to? You see and you read the LinkedIn's and you see the posts from different places, and it's like, okay, you got all these boot camps and all these things talking about cybersecurity. You can make six figures. Come on, woo! Yeah, you can. Eventually, it's very
And
rare.
based on where you live.
Well, based on where you live, based on what you're doing, based on what technology you're going to be in, sure, absolutely. But you don't start out, coming out, get 3 certifications and make $9,500,000. I mean, you got to find the right company. You got to find that white whale.
Yep. And
You
Natalie
know,
says it here too. You can be forced into something and still fall in love with it. And this is very true. This is what we're getting
absolutely.
at, is that I think some were forced out of necessity. Actually, many during the pandemic were forced out of necessity. But because they don't have that love for it, that passion for it, they just saw all the advertisements and the boot camps and the quick trainings and, oh, we'll get you a job in 3 months and this, that, and the
Right,
third. They
right,
don't actually love it. They're just doing it for the money,
right,
or they thought it was going to be a quick win.
right. But no, she brings up a good point. You can get into something and be like, wow, this is really tough. But you find that toughness brings something out of you. You get that fire, like she said. You can grow to love it.
Yeah.
It's something that once you find that in you, you're like, okay, I'm not. You could always take it as I'm not going to let this beat me if that's the case. But you
Yeah.
can always make it your own. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And
Don't
that's,
let it
and
just be something that you have to do because now you need to keep a roof over your head. The kids need new AJs and you know can't have steak every night.
Yeah, and that's the kicker, right? I've essentially worked in IT and worked shit jobs for my entire life.
Right.
And up until recently, it wasn't until 2000, I don't know, 20, roughly 2019 ish. I didn't start making six figures till 2019. And that's, you figure, I started by selling computers, and then I got into desktop support and help desk and everything else. Did join the military, and Lord knows the military don't fucking pay six figures a year unless you're an officer and making, at that point, you're not doing any work for a living.
Right.
So I wasn't an officer. I actually worked for a living. And then, you did that. I retired. My first job out of the Army, I was making $62,000 a year as an IT risk manager.
Right.
So technically manager making $60-some thousand a year. So yeah, your first jobs or your second jobs aren't necessarily going to be six figures, especially when you're first breaking in. You got to be willing to take a pay cut.
Absolutely.
Shit happens. You got to be willing to.
You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. Everybody's got to be that low man on the totem pole. There's a low man on the totem pole for a reason, because you're the foundation. You're the guy that's got to start climbing and doing and clawing, right? If it were easy, everybody would do it. It's that old sports analogy.
Hi, Sarah.
No, that's not Sarah. That's one of the children.
I mean, she was as tall as the door. I figured it was Sarah. I mean,
no, that's an illusion. That's the camera angle. It adds 5 pounds.
Oh, so she's not taller than you in real life?
No, she wishes she was going to get above 5'2".
So we do have a question here from Misha, and I love it because Misha's finally coming out of her shell and actually asking a lot of questions during these shows. She showed up last week.
Yeah, she did. Let's hear it, Misha.
When you say looking for a reason, talking about when you were looking for a reason to transition or whatever, kind of when you were looking for a reason to leave massage therapy, what would you tell people when it's beyond looking for a change because you're mad at work versus when it is needed for you?
So if you're going to transition because you're mad at your industry, your job, your profession, that really is something you got to get the hell out of the camera. Now that's the wife. Now that's the wife.
Hi, there she is. Okay. How you doing?
This is my show, lady. Get the hell out. If you're going to transition because you can't do this anymore, because if you see one more person come in here and treat you a certain way, you're going to go postal. You're probably not going to like being in IT, because you're going to have people coming at you, talking to you a certain way, and be like, okay, I am actually not an idiot. Thank you very much. When you look for a reason, you got to look for your reason. It's the old adage of, what's your why? Why are you going to change? Why are you looking for something else? What about this will bring you fulfillment? Is it just
I'm doing my happy dance?
I see you, brother. I see you.
Key word, man. What's your why? That why matters, because that why is going to carry you through every fucking obstacle you face.
Because that why is in every day. That why is in every day. That why is in today.
Yep.
You got to have your why. You got to have your reason to be like, you know what? I'm going to the office today. It may be a shit show. It may be on fire, but I'm going to the office today to go put something out.
You may only have 20% to give, but if you give 100% of that 20%, that's still more than other people are giving.
It's still 120%.
So it's one of those things you got to look at. Like, it's just very, very big. It's very vital. And so
it's all personal.
It is.
It's all personal. You and I could say, hey, this is my why. This should be your why. You want the kids to have a certain outcome. You want to have a certain house. You want to be able to provide certain things. You want to have certain things. But when it comes down to it, everybody's why is different. It's like a fingerprint.
Yep. And it's all individual. And so it's like I talk about, and I love it because I got it down here. Misha put it up because she listens to my other podcast. What's your why? Right. It's all about your path, your journey, everything about you. And that's what I think we get away from, right? When we look at things like this, career transitioning or anything along those lines, or even life in general, we want to kind of align ourselves to somebody else. We want to say, oh, I want to be like this person. I idolize this person. This person's my hero, and da-da-da-da-da. When the reality of it is, It is your journey. It is your path. It is your trail to walk. So your why has to be strong enough to get you over that obstacle. Whatever it is, it could be a damn mountain in front of you. But if you cannot climb it because your why is not strong enough, because you're going to get 2 feet up and be like, I'm tired, I can't do this shit no more. Then guess what? Your why isn't strong enough. We need to figure out what the hell your why is, because that isn't going to cut it. We're going to keep on pressing, and I'm going to push your ass up, but you need to help. Your why needs to be strong enough so that when I do kick you in the ass, you go up another 30 yards. Like, that's the way it needs to be.
Absolutely.
And so that's why your why is so vital for when you're transitioning. Why are you transitioning? And not necessarily why are you transitioning? Why are you choosing the industry you're choosing to go into?
Right. Why did this resonate with you? Why is this where you want to put your energy, your time, your effort into? Why is this your place?
Correct.
Where do you want to go with this?
Yep.
That's another question. You can go through the whole who, what, why, when, where, how. But realistically, it's got to be because you want to. The 1,000-mile journey starts with a step.
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
Yeah, I heard that years ago, and it still sticks with me to this day.
It's true. It's true. I mean, you can come up with a number of adages, right? Like there's a favorite one of mine is like an old Japanese adage, and a guy's talking to a karate sensei. Why are you teaching me how to be a warrior? Blah blah blah. Or why are you teaching me martial arts? When am I going to use this? Well, wouldn't you rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
But that goes back to a lot of things. When you look at it, I would rather have and not need than need and not have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we have another very important question here from Misha. Who?
She got another one. She's on fire.
Oh, this one. This one will touch home. Speaking of taking a pay cut, what do you say to people who can't afford to take a pay cut but want to get into the field?
That's a tough one. That's going to be one of those. That's going to be one of those gut checks. That's going to be about the desire. How bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough that you're going to take that pay cut and go do a side hustle, go do some DoorDash, go do some Instacart, go wait tables, go, wash windows, whatever, right? Are you willing to put in the work? That's another part of the why. That's another part of the looking inside and, just turning it inside and saying, okay, is this worth it? Am I worth doing this? Am I worth taking this pay cut and putting in the blood, sweat, and tears? That's really what that's what I would tell anybody.
And that's the thing, right? So when we look at this, you have to look at it from a sense of what is your future outlook. And William Bailey, my buddy here who's been on the show before, is your current field a dead end? So taking a pay cut now is worth it in the long term. And that's the way I envision it, right? So, when I got out of the Army, I ain't going to lie. I was like, oh, I've got all these certifications. I got all this. I'm going to make it. I'll be making 6 figures easy. Like, there's no problem. And that shit didn't happen. It took 2 jobs and a raise to finally get there. Right. And so it took me 3 or 4 years to retired out of the Army. It took me 4 years from retiring to finally hit 6 figures. And that's with my CISSP, my degree, a bunch of other certifications. I had the goddamn alphabet. Like, you name it, I had it. And still, I was not making 6 figures. It took me about 4 years after retiring. So when people look at this, I get it. It's going to look bleak and you're going to be like, shit, I can't afford this. Right. Guess what? I hate to say it. Cut your Netflix, cut your Hulu, cut your Peacock, cut your cable, keep your internet because you need that to actually do your job.
Absolutely.
But cut everything you can and live at the bare minimum. And Misha, you should notice, you should be able to live at the bare minimum because me and you have discussed this before. And I know where you come from, girl. If you can't live in the woods, we got issues. Me and you are going to have another further conversation. But, it's one of those things where you should be able to cut back until you get to where you want to be. Absolutely. Once you get comfortable. I am finally at a point in my career now. So you figure 2017. It is now 2023. So 6 years. Took me 6 years after retiring to be comfortable where I'm at. I finally have a house. I finally have a mortgage. And I'm not looking at it going, shit, am I going to be able to afford food this week?
Right.
Like, it took me that long. Now, granted, I got a wife and 5 kids. So it took me a lot more money to get to that point. But I also had to cut back on a lot of things. There's things in this channel that I no longer do because I couldn't afford it.
Right.
Because I was looking at it going, I can't afford $100 a month on this. I can't afford $50 a month on this. I can't afford this on that.
Right.
So I had to look at it, was like, oh yeah, I'll be good. Like when I first thought, because I thought the money was going to start coming in. I had 1,000, 2,000 some subscribers. I thought buy me a coffee and all these things were going to roll in. And it just never happened. And I was like, dumb idea, guy. You should have waited till you had the money before you spent the money.
But see, now you have that perspective of saying, okay, I'm glad I went through that, because you had that little scare. And when you look at it, like you said, 6 years, I mean, that's a small price to pay for the sacrifice of that time to now be where you are. That's the other thing, the return on investment of the sacrifice of what you're going to need to do in order to be at a place where you can do what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. And that's it. And Bill X said it. And Misha co-signed it. Sacrifice now for benefit later. And that's really ultimately what it comes down to. We are so materialistic as a society. So I'm gonna step off of my cybersecurity soapbox for a minute. I'm gonna get to my Walk With Me soapbox, which is a great podcast. If you haven't listened to it yet or catch it on YouTube, please go do. 37 episodes out so far. You're gonna love it. But I got to do it, man. I got to plug everything I can.
Hey, it's your show, brother. I'm just here for I'm just here for adornment.
But no, we are so materialistic as a society. We got to have the coolest shit. We got to have the PS5s, the TVs, the Netflix, the internet, the MacBooks, the iPhones, the Galaxy, the newest phone, the newest everything. And so we have decided that we're just going to spend all our fucking money on bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I can't tell you how often I'm like, do I want that? Yeah. Do I need it? Not necessarily. Do I have the money for it right now? No. So why am I going to put myself in hawk over something that I actually am going to be okay living without?
I've done it.
Who hasn't?
I've looked at it and been like, you know what? I got a credit card that got a good limit. We'll be all right.
Right. We'll make payments on that damn thing. It'll be all right.
It'll be okay. Now I look at it and I'm like, I really want this. You know what? This one program says, yeah, I can pay. It's like Aspire or whatever that bullshit is they have on different websites. I'm like, yeah, let's apply. They look at my credit like, you're funny, homie. No, you ain't getting shit.
Yeah, that was funny. You're the cautionary tale, sir. This is why we don't give to you.
I'm like, I pay my bills on time. They're like, yeah, but you always then max them out again. Yeah, you're right.
So you have this history, is what they call it.
Still gets paid. I'm just saying.
Right. It's not in a timely fashion that you want, but it's paid.
Right.
Like D.L. Hughley would say when one of his jokes. You hate when those bill collectors call up. So when can we expect payments? You can expect payment anytime. It's just when you get it.
Yeah. You'll get it when I have it, but you're not going to get it when you want it. I'm just saying.
Right. It's like dealing with children.
So look, we are at 7:53 my time. 1953 if you're military or prior military and understand what that is. We got 14 entries in the drawing. So I am going to give you 2 more minutes. I've got 21 people that it says are currently watching this. Now, that might be the same person watching on multiple things, but that's okay. We want to do, down in the banner, we're going to put it up here. Where'd it go? Hashtag next generation. Put hashtag next generation down below. Here in about 2 minutes, we will do a drawing. The more the merrier. And if you want to give it out on your own, go for it. Give it away.
Just power.
But this gives us the opportunity because this is a community and this is what we're all about building. So we're going to come together, and guess what? If it gives someone to come to you, and you can say, I can give this to you because maybe you have a friend that's not watching. Go for it, homie. I'm all for it. Let's go. This is what we do.
Absolutely.
So let's see. I have an 800 credit score, just no proof of stable income. Yo, SarnAR, can you hack somebody and give me an 800 credit score? That'd be great. Just saying.
Can we just go Fight Club and just call it good?
Right. got a friend that's going live on TikTok. I got to go jump in with this functional Viking on there. So all one word, people. All one word. You see it at the bottom of the banner. Don't put any spaces. All one word. Next generation.
Right, don't make it a new drawing. Come on now.
Right. Come on. Damn. But yeah, so I got some friends that are going live here in about 5 minutes. So I got to make sure I can be late. This is my show. I can do what the fuck I want.
Right.
But
Right.
we'll get there. How many drawings are we looking at now? 15. 15. That's only gone up one. All right. That should give me 16. And I think we should have 17. All right. Let's see. Next generation. 17. All right. Cool. We're up to 17. 18, 19. All right. Oh, damn. It's still going. All right. So we're up to 18 right now. Cool. All right. So I'm going to give it another one more minute. All right. One more minute, depending on this. Hey, Misha, if you win, I'll let you know. Actually, Misha, you do both. Or, I mean, I'll just let you know. It doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
I love you anyways. You've been here for the long haul. So, we're coming out of the end. And I do want to do this giveaway. We got 22 people and watching and 18 entries. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to fucking do it.
Get it.
Let's see. Add to stream. Hey, what do you know? So we're going to do the first one. We're just going to basically cycle through this. I'm not going to do anything different because I basically know everybody in here because you're all my warriors and I love you all. There's probably someone I don't know. We're just going to figure it out. Andrea. Oh, there we go. There's one. Andrea, hey, so look, Andrea, do me a favor if you can, and I love you, so you should be able to do this. Take note of everybody that wins, including yourself. Let's see. We're going to draw again. She's probably going to yell at me like, I can't do that shit.
Multitask, sir? What?
I'm going to have to go back through the episode to be able to see it. Javier!
Woo!
What's going on, brother?
Nice.
I swear, if you win again on YouTube, we're fighting. Just so you know. Just so you know. If you enter twice, we're fighting.
Well, if my wife wins one, you know I'm going to put that to good use.
3 is Zach. Do I know Zach? I don't know if I know Zach. Zach, get a hold of me on LinkedIn or somewhere. I don't see a last name. I don't know who Zach is. Zach, get a hold of me. It could be Discord if that's where you know me from. I don't fucking know. Just let me know, and we'll figure that shit out. We'll get there. Hey, I do. You know, some of these people got pictures. I can actually put a face to a name. I just can't do that with Zach. So that's 3. Keep track for me, Jason, because I'm gonna lose count. Hot damn it, Javier! No, that does not count. We're drawing again. No, you're not winning twice. You already won once. Damn it. 4, M2J. I know you, homie. I got you.
There we go.
All right, so that's 4. All right, let's see. Let's draw again. 5, Stealth Gaming Awakening. Get a hold of me. I'm trying to think of how. Give me like a LinkedIn or something in the chat, please, so I can get a hold of you, or you can message me. Find a way. Let me know who you are. That's what, 5?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go to number 6. Number 6.
Come on.
Bill.
Boom. Big Bill.
All right.
Solid Bill.
7, 7, 7.
6.
Oh,
That's
Christopher. All right. I got you, homie.
There we go.
Ocho. Who's winning Ocho? Ocho.
Come on.
Nope. You ain't winning twice. Get that out of here. Sorry, love you, homie, but you ain't winning twice. It don't work that way. I will draw until we get someone different. I will. Nope. Javier. Dude, come on. It works a little bit better when you do different hashtags, but we're just gonna Andrea, damn it, come on. No, don't make me pick random ass people because I'll fucking do it. I know who's in chat. I will just send them random ass codes if you do this shit to me too much. Misha.
There we go.
That's 8. All right, so Misha's number 8
right there.
I hope Andrea is actually taking notes on this because I can't see my screen to see if she agreed or not, but she better have agreed because, you know. Adriana.
Adrian.
Adrian. All right. There's 9.
One more.
And we got one more. Oh, we got 19 entries now. Ooh, something went up. All right. Let's go. Let's go. One more. One more. One more. Who we got? Nope. Andrea. Come on, girl. Damn.
Get her out of there.
Shit. I wish I could. I wish it would just like let me remove people, or if it would remove people like after.
Right, once they win.
Nope, not you.
Let's see.
Dude, I know who I'm going to give a code to if I just fucking quit. I already know. But let's figure this out. Let's see. Let's see. Paul. All right, Paul, I don't know who you are. You ain't got no last name for me or nothing.
Number 10. Lucky number 10.
So, Natalie, the automation definitely needs help. It needs to remove people as I'm doing drawings. That'd be fucking great. So, great. Paul, whoever you are. So, here's the thing. We got Paul and Zach. I literally don't know what your last names are or who the fuck you are. So, please get a hold of me. And you better have a profile that actually says who you are and can prove kind of where we were at with this. Otherwise, Andrea got all of them. So, we'll take note because Andrea did. In case y'all weren't aware, Andrea donated 5 of these vouchers that we're giving away. So, Andrea did 5. I did 5. It's kind of how it goes. And we're in it to win it. Hey, I don't know who I am sometimes. So, for everybody that won, congratulations. Thank you. Honestly, I hope this helps you and grow. Paul said I'll hit you up on LinkedIn. Good. Zach, whoever you are, whether it's Discord, if you're in the pagan community, or if you're from LinkedIn, wherever you're from, please get a hold of me. Let me know. Otherwise, Jason, before we go off air, before we, shut down, give me some final words, man. What advice you got for people that are really transitioning and just trying to make a name for themselves?
Oh, man. Just be honest with yourself. Be prepared for hard work. Be prepared to, be introspective and really take a look at what you need to do and why you want to do it. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. Do it because you want to. Do it because you're going to be good at it. Don't just do it because, well, I ain't got nothing else to do and it's going to be good money down the road, or it's going to be good money instantly, right?
Yeah. That's I have a problem because, I look at things and I see people that are doing things for money. And part of me says, don't chase money, right? A huge part of me says, don't chase money because you're never going to be happy.
Right.
But then another part of me says, look at our economy, look at the way our society is, look at the way things are going. You kind of have to, or else you're going to be fucking broke. And literally somebody's going to have, you're going to have your shitbox car and somebody's going to have a shitbox car with a stereo. And you're like, oh, I want that stereo. And it's going to mean something. But that's the kind of the way things are going. You got to kind of look at it. And so don't chase money, but upskill yourself to get money.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
100%.
So I wouldn't say chase money. I'd say become better so that the money comes, because you deserve more. I don't care who the fuck you are. You deserve more, but you got to prove it. And people hate that. But look, I'm not going to hire you just because you have some certs and I don't know who the fuck you are.
Right.
If you're not putting yourself out there and I don't know who the hell you are, I'm not going to hire you based on some certs. I'm going to ask you fucking questions and figure out who the fuck you are.
Right. No, absolutely. You can be good on paper, but if you're not good in real life, what good are you?
So we're gonna figure that out, and that's the way it needs to go. And so look, here's the thing. Before we sign off, and Jason, if you want to hang around for a minute before we go, or after we go, this community is everything to me. Everybody here is one of my cyber warriors. Everybody here is one of my warriors. And there were a few people here in the chat this week that actually have nothing to do with cybersecurity. They are just here because they're family, right? They're part of the Pagan Project. They're part of other areas of my life. And they were just joining in, kind of like your wife joining in and getting in the chat and being involved. And that's what it's about. We are a community. We're a family. And for anybody that doesn't know, that's what family is about. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you had a shitty family. It happens. But guess what? Family doesn't end in blood. If I cut you, guess what? We're all going to bleed bread and we're all the same. So I don't give a damn what you look like. I don't give a damn who you are. This is community. This is family. So everybody else is going to try to break you up. Understand you belong here. You belong with the Cyber Warrior. You belong in CyberWarriorStudios. You belong in cybersecurity. You belong here. This is where you can make a difference. You want to make a difference? You do it here. This is what you do. This is what we do. Now, otherwise, look, I love you all. You are all my warriors. You're all my family. Please check the description for all the ways you can support this channel, whether it's buy me a coffee, and there is memberships now, merchandise, PayPal, Cash App, you name it. And I got to say one more thing. I have been donating money to the Pagan Project. So the money you donate to me, guess what? It might just go there. I don't fucking know. Depends on what I feel like doing with it that day. But you bring it here, I'm going to do something with it to benefit the community. That's just the way shit goes. So y'all have a good one. I'm going to take care. I'm going to go out. You know what? I'm going to keep drinking. That's just what I'm going to do. Have a great weekend. I will see you all next week with another amazing episode of Security Happy Hour right here on CyberWarriorStudios.